Happy Sunday again. So is everybody getting ready for the big eclipse? That should actually date this chat because we're talking about the solar eclipse today. So for anybody that's watching later, you'll know when this one was recorded because this is the week of the eclipse. So I don't know how many of you all are in an area that's in the, what's it called, the totality? It's like the totality, the totality zone or whatever, but we're in Knoxville, and Casey's here with me today. Can y'all see her? Wait.
Hi.
Hey, yeah. So Casey's here with me today, and we're in, we're right outside of the totality zone, so we should be able to see quite a bit of the eclipse, or it should be almost a full eclipse, but about, I'm going to say 30-45 minutes south and west of here, they are in the area of totality, and so there are like 3.5 million people, I don't know, headed that direction. So yeah, so we spent the day, you know, making sure that we had all of our supplies and everything for the chat, and I made sure that all the vehicles had gas, and yeah, and we're not going to head that direction. So are any of the rest of y'all in the area, that little kind of stripe that's going across the United States? This is the area of totality. Hey, Karen. Yeah, anyway, so the eclipse is big news. I don't know if it's big news where you are, but we're selling out of eclipse glasses. People are putting them on Craigslist for like $30 a pair. You know, the little $1.69 or $1.79 eclipse glasses that everybody got a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, they're starting to go on Craigslist here, you know, around here for like $30. But anyway, it's created quite the frenzy. And we had Bristol weekend this weekend, so that 100 or so thousand people is just getting out of the area. But anyway, we weren't here to talk about the eclipse. Well, wait, fact or fiction? Is there going to be a total solar eclipse this tomorrow? I think there will be, depending on where you are. But anyway, so today, I should be able to. Oh, hold a second. Casey said, for some reason, I am not seeing comments. Uh-oh. Hold on just a second. I've messed up something. So I'll tell you what. Let me actually get on here so that I can see your comments, because apparently, when I was trying to turn off notifications so that we didn't get interrupted during the chat, apparently I have also turned off comments because I'm a genius. So hold on just a second. Let me go over here and see if I can get back on. Oops, I'm the wrong thing. So how did everybody do this week? I'm going to go ahead and do my, I am going to go ahead and do my housekeeping while I am getting up to speed so that I can be up with you all, since apparently I turned off those notifications. So give me just a second. So let's see. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of comments. Casey's right. So sorry about that. I don't know what I did. I have no idea what I did to turn off the notifications for the comments. But you all are talking and I couldn't see it. So Casey's saying, hey everybody, sorry if I missed anyone. Okay, so I'll just have to come back and say hi to you all later because I totally just messed that up. Anywho, okay, so is Casey saying hi to you all? She's saying hi to you all since I messed up my comments. Sorry about that. I'm so sorry, and I'm scared to go over and turn them on because I don't want to mess up the chat. Anyway, someday I'll figure out this technology. So tonight's chat is not about the solar eclipse. Tonight's chat is about tonight's chat, and see, that's going to drive me crazy now because I don't know, I haven't seen everybody's comments. So how many am I missing here, Casey? Like a whole lot before this. Arrgh. Okay, anyway, I'll just say hi to the people that are coming on after this. So hi, thank you, Casey, for saying hi to everybody. Hi, Rose. Hi, Karen. Hi, Teresa. And I guess I'm gonna have to keep looking over here since I've accidentally turned off the comments. Anyway, so yeah, and somebody said, what?
Do you want to just watch on my phone? Comments?
Yeah. So Casey's letting me use her phone so that I can see the comments. So now I've got you all going in like a couple of different areas. So I know, and somebody just said she's a good daughter. She is. She's a very good daughter. So tonight, hey Tedders, how are you feeling? Hey Jamie. And see, I feel so weird now because I haven't been looking at this. Hey Debbie. Okay, and sorry I missed all you people there before. Hey Pam. Pamela Sue. And I always feel like you're in trouble, you know. Pamela Sue, where have you been? And I just want to know, you know, is that what they said? Is that what they called you when you got in trouble when you were younger? Hey, Lynn. Yes, Lynn says, yes, you are a good daughter. She knows you're a good daughter. But anyway, so tonight's chat is not about the solar eclipse. Even if you are in the path of totality, it's not about that. Tonight's chat is about weight loss myths. But y'all know I have to do some housekeeping first, and Pam's laughing. So I'm assuming that they did call you Pamela Sue when you were young, when you got in trouble. Dusty's already wanting up. We'll see how long I can fend him off. But anyway, so the housekeeping, as usual, is that this is on Facebook Live right now. So today is Sunday, and it's the day before the 2017 total solar eclipse, if that dates it for you. And if you are watching this on Sunday, this is a live chat. And yes, I will be answering people's questions, hopefully, even though now so I'm looking at you on my phone. The comments are coming up on Casey's phone, and the comments are not so much coming up on, let me see if I can make this bigger and get these, ha-ha. Okay, and now the comments are coming up on my computer. So maybe I can I can give Casey back her phone. Okay, so not like Casey can't see what's going on, but I'm going to give her back her phone. So anyway, okay, obviously I need some tech help. This will be transcribed later, and I had somebody actually ask me what that meant this week. So in case you don't know what transcriptions are, what I do is after the chat, I type up everything that we talk about, and I answer all of your questions. Uh-oh, Tedders is going back to the hospital tomorrow. I didn't want to see that. Okay, so if any of my prayer warriors are on here, Tedders is going back to the hospital tomorrow because she's not healing properly. So we'll be checking in on her on the If You Have an Egg, in the If You Have an Egg group. And so yeah, everybody keep Tedders in your prayers. That was back surgery, so we definitely don't want anything to go on with that. And Dusty is doing well. He is off of his medicine now, and he's running around. So if y'all could have seen him, he was over here begging to get up. He's jumping again, which he's not supposed to be doing. But he's doing a lot better. Thank you for asking. Apparently doing better than Tedders. So I hate to hear that. So back to the my housekeeping stuff that I always have to do. So sorry to hear about that, Tedders. Anybody that's joining us later, you'll just have to join our If You Have an Egg Facebook group, the closed group, so that you can find out what's going on with Tedders later, so you can keep up with her. And if you're watching this after Sunday, then it's no longer live. You can watch this on Facebook. You can watch it on in the If You Have an Egg group. You can watch it on YouTube. If you just go to YouTube and search If You Have an Egg, you'll find it there, or they are always on my blog, www.ifyouhaveanegg.com. You can always find them on there, and that has an ongoing list of all of the chats. So I was talking about the transcriptions. I had somebody this week that didn't know what transcriptions were. All that is simply, and thank you all for putting up prayers for Tedders. That's very sweet of you. So basically all the transcriptions are, I sit and transcribe, or write down, or record, or whatever you want to call that, everything that we talked about, so that we can go back later and see. And that way you can read it. Some people do better listening, and I'm sure that I've got a couple of teachers out there that can tell me what kind of learning that is, but some people learn better by listening. Some people learn better by, like hearing. Some people learn better by reading, and some people learn better by doing. So I write everything down so that you can listen if you need to listen again, so that you can read it if it's easier for you to read it. You can print it out if you need to. The transcriptions are always printable, and those are available to print for free. You can share them if you have somebody else that you think could benefit from anything that we're talking about tonight. You can always share those, and you can use them. So that would be awesome if you use them. And if you do use them, please let me know what you use. And thank you, Casey, for putting up the blog. So who remembers what tonight's chat is about? Even though, and I just said it a few minutes ago, but even though I have miraculously messed up my my notifications. So okay, I'm gonna get you all to do something fun. I'm gonna say I'm gonna tell you what each one is. So this week's meeting topic was about weight loss myths, and if they're fact or fiction. So when I say a myth, I want you all to tell me if you think that it is, oh, whoops, I just clicked on the wrong thing. Technology. So I want y'all to tell me if you think that it's fact or fiction. So I'm going to tell you the myth, and then you tell me. But first, how many people attended a meeting this week and got to see the little pamphlet that was handed out about the fact or fiction? Who all? Let me scroll down here and get to current with you all. So who all is that the most current comments?
It should be Tedder's.
That says thank you, Karen. Okay, and then Shirley Ann is the last one.
You're still buffering a little bit.
Okay. Okay, so anyway, this is what I want y'all to do for me. I'm going to say one, and then I want y'all to do a thumbs up if you think it's fact. So if you think that it's something that's factual, then I want you to do a thumbs up. And if you are on, if you're on your computer, you actually have to click on, that's what I've had to do here, and I'll do one thumbs up to show you all, but there's a, if you open up the screen where we're talking right now, there's a thumb, and then there's a heart for, for love, and then there's a ha-ha, a wow, a sad, and an angry. So let's just go ahead and say, do not click on the sad or the angry, or you know who will be after you, and you know who is not me. Do y'all know who you know who is? And it's not Casey. I'll let y'all guess who you know who is. But anyway, she'll be after you all if you accidentally click on those. Or if you're on a phone, there's a little button at the what?
She's already saying no angries ever.
Uh-oh, and she's already on the case. So if you're on a phone, and this is so weird because Casey's watching me on the phone. So on the phone, see, here's the like button, and then there's the heart. Or I think if you turn it sideways, you can...
I have mine on lock.
Ah, she has hers on lock, so you can't see it. But anyway, if you turn it sideways, then you can see them a little bit better. Okay, so, oh yeah, and Sally says that research is so easy with the transcripts. Okay, so, hello everybody. I'm so far off. Casey just said, she goes, you were so far off.
Everybody's guessing Sally as the police.
Casey said everybody's guessing Sally as the police. You would be correct. So I really hate that I accidentally turned my notifications off because now I'm having to watch the notifications. Can y'all see me looking over here? Like I'm watching. Actually, I'm going to take Casey's phone back again because it's like more real time. Okay. So... oh yeah, so Sally said, no angry faces ever. It hurts Kelly's YouTube. Correct. Okay, and I promised that I was going to stay on topic tonight. So how many of y'all think I'm going to stay on topic tonight? That I'm not going to get distracted? Yeah. Okay. Okay, so fact or fiction. We're going to go through some of these myths and see what y'all think, if you think that they are fact or fiction. Okay, the very first one, and this one I have heard literally my entire life, and that is that some foods... okay, so I'm sorry. Let me go back to what I wanted you to do. So I'm going to tell you what the myth is, and then I want you all to tell me if you think it's fact or fiction. If you think it's fact, Sally, stop. Sally's already saying squirrel. And Sally, what you don't know is I can see it say squirrel down here. I can see it say squirrel over on Casey's phone, and now it's coming up on the computer. The stuff's coming up on the computer, so you're really going to be able to distract me tonight. Anyway, and like I can see that's weird. It's like a bloop, bloop, bloop. It's like I don't know, double mirror thing or whatever. Okay, so I'm going to say a myth, and then if you think it's fact, like if you think it's the truth, if you think this is something that's true, then I want you to do a thumbs up. And I showed you how to do that on the phone, and you've got it on your computer too. If you think it's fiction, I want you to do a heart. So that'll be the easiest way, to vote. So the very first one is, this is myth number 1, and I need to know if you think this is fact or is it fiction. And the people that are watching this later on YouTube are going to be thinking, what on earth is she talking about? Where are the thumbs ups and the hearts? Because I don't know if y'all have noticed this or not, but you can't see it on YouTube. Oh, and I will say this, one more thing about YouTube, and I'm not squirreling. This is just, a comment about YouTube. If you do watch this later on YouTube, please, please, please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And Casey's having to help me in the background. But remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I think as of this morning, we were up to like 568 subscribers. Yay. Okay, so the first one. This is a myth. The myth. Do you think it's fact or do you think it's fiction? Okay, the first one is some foods are negative calories. So this is something that I've heard, from the very, like from the very first time that I ever started Weight Watchers or any other weight loss program was that there are some foods that are negative calories. So you all have all heard that, right? That things like celery, for example, the celery has so few calories and so much water that you chew it and chew it and chew it and chew it and chew it, and that it takes so much energy to chew it that it actually has negative calories. So who thinks that is a fact and who thinks that's fiction? So facts are thumbs ups and fiction are hearts. And I want to say this too, just because if you get any of these wrong, you're not getting them wrong. These are just things that, I mean, I've heard all these too, and we just want to see, you know, which things are fact and which things are fiction. So don't feel bad if it's, you know, if it's wrong. So Margaret says she's never heard of that. So Margaret, I've heard of that, you know, forever. Okay, and I'm sorry, I keep fiddling with my hair because I can see it. It's like in 3 different stages. So anyway, I'll try to leave it alone. Okay, that is actually fiction. So fiction, there are no negative calorie foods. Some foods have, you know, and you know the new Smart Points is based on, now it has to do with calories. So for the longest time on Smart Points, and if you all are not here, if you all are not doing Smart Points, then you're not going to know what I'm talking about. But on Weight Watchers Smart Points program, now it's based on calories, the amount of fat, the amount of saturated fat, the fiber content, the carbohydrates, the sugars, you know, things like that. So it's based on all of that. So we have not had a calorie-based program in a, thanks Sally. Sally goes, your hair looks great, by the way. And of course that's what distracts me. Anyway, so for the longest time on Weight Watchers, we didn't have a calorie-based system. You know, it was mostly fat or fiber, fat or fiber, or had, you know, revolved more around, you know, fat and, you know, protein and things like that. Well, now since it includes calories too, some things have less points and some things, you know, have more points. But the fact of the matter is that it doesn't matter how long it takes you to chew your celery, it still has calories. So there are no foods that have negative calories. I think the thought behind the negative calories was that you would actually be like in a deficit. And everybody knows it takes 3,500 calories to make a pound. So I think the theory behind the negative calories was that if you ate things that were supposedly negative calories, so let's say that you ate celery. So if you ate enough celery, the theory was that you would burn off more calories, you know, by chewing, and then you would have more calories left for something else. Yeah, I've heard that one for years, and that is absolutely not true. That is a myth. Okay, this one, when it was our turn to talk in Weight Watchers Tuesday night. So these were things that were covered in our, not all of these, but some of these things were covered in our Weight Watchers meeting this week. Okay, y'all are doing it again. You're trying to distract me, but anyway. So this is the first one I said when our leader Gwen said, what things do you all want to know, or what are some weight loss myths that you've heard? And my hand shot up because this one actually drives me crazy. This is a pet peeve of mine. So this pet peeve is a pound of muscle weighs more than a pound of fat. So if you think a pound of muscle weighs more than a pound of fat, then that would be fact, and you would do a thumbs up. And if you think that's fiction, you would do hearts. So, yes or no? A pound of fat, does it weigh more than a pound of muscle, does it weigh more than a pound of fat? What do y'all think? I'm going to give you just a moment to vote, and I'm going to take a sip of water already, or tea, diet tea already. Okay, we've got a lot of hearts. Got a lot of hearts. And Sally already knows the answer. Yeah. Good job. Okay, so those of you all who are actually typing an answer as well, correct. Wait. I didn't even notice.
I don't have my phone.
Okay, well, hold on. Casey doesn't have her phone, so here. Let me see if I can vote for her. There we go. Okay, so Casey voted. I just voted for Casey that that's fiction. So a pound is a pound is a pound. Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I have heard people say, oh, you must have gained weight this week, or oh, why did I gain weight? I've done everything right. And then I hear people say, oh, well, no, you've gained so much muscle you've gained so much muscle, and muscle weighs more than fat, so that's why you gained weight this week. That is absolutely not true. A pound is a pound. So it doesn't matter if it's a pound of muscle or if it's a pound of fat or a pound of water or a pound of, anything else that could be going on. A pound is a pound. So what's different though is, and this is why I talk to you all so much in the group about, in the closed, Facebook group. And by the way, if you want to join the closed Facebook group, we'll be putting information up later about how to join that. So it's a closed group on Facebook, and it's not really invitation only, but you should answer 3 questions that let me know that you're a real human. But it's a safe place, for you to be, to ask questions, and to have discussions like this. So if you want to join, we'll put that up later. But that's one of the things that we talk about a lot, is people that are doing, a lot of, they're exercising a lot, and they're, making all the right food choices and things like that, but then they still have a gain. There are a lot of reasons that you could have a gain, but it is not because you built any muscle. On the contrary, one of the things that you should be doing is finding other ways to measure your success besides just the scale. So the scale is sitting still for me right now, but I know that I'm doing okay. See, this is how I know. This is one of my ways that I measure, is my Fitbit's loose. If my Fitbit is loose, then I know I'm doing okay. So a pound of muscle a pound of muscle doesn't weigh a pound. It weighs a pound. A pound of muscle weighs a pound. A pound of muscle is about the size of 2 of those little halos, and I should have gotten a couple so I could show you all about how big it is. But a pound of muscle is the size of like 2 little clementines. The size, which is like, I don't have anything up here that's about that size, but so let's say about, this size, maybe a little bit bigger. But a pound of fat, on the other hand, is like the size of a grapefruit. So even though a pound is a pound and it weighs the same, I would rather have two little clementines sitting on my rear end than a grapefruit. So that's where the difference is. You lose, and Sally's exactly right, you lose inches. Yeah, so you're losing inches. Even if the weight is not going down, you're losing inches. So anyway, a pound of muscle does not weigh more than a pound of fat. And I've heard that over and over and over again. I just think that one's a funny one. Okay, here's another myth. This myth is that you need to avoid all the foods that you like. So if you like things that are, if you think that your favorite food, your most, I'm going to go ahead and call them indulgent foods. If you think, okay, Sybil, I'm sorry, I'm going to sidetrack for a second. Sybil says she needs to get some NSVs going because the scale has not been her friend the last 2 weeks. Sybil, I know 2 weeks is frustrating. I know that's 14 days. But really there are so many other things going on inside your body that, that 2 weeks just can't keep up with. So I think, our Weight Watchers leader, Gwen, the Gwen that I idolize, she said something a couple of weeks ago that I'm going to try and say it like she said it. She said, let me think. She said your weight, let's see. I think she said your weight is just it's like your gravitational relationship to the earth or something. It was, that was just a measure of how much gravity, gravitational pull, had on your body, whatever. Okay, I just butchered what she said. The point is, do measure things, like this. That was a big thing for me. When I moved down to, can you see the 3 holes? When I moved down to the 3 holes, that's when I hit, I moved my Fitbit down to only 3 holes being opened, and it still took another month for the scale to show that I was at goal. What's up with that? The scale is, pardon my language, but the scale is stupid. It is stupid. It's a stupid box. It doesn't know how you did that week. So we could completely sidetrack onto NSVs, and maybe we should do that one week. Would you all want an NSV chat one week? Maybe we should do that. Okay. Anyway, so back on the next myth. The next myth is that you should avoid all the foods that you like, because you're not going to be able to lose weight. If you eat the foods that you like, you're not going to be able to lose weight. So if you think that's a fact, do a thumbs up. If you think it's fiction, do a heart. So I'll give you just a moment to respond. So that is if you think you have to avoid all the foods that you like. Do you think that's fact or fiction? And I can tell we must have a lot of good Weight Watchers on here because we're getting all hearts. All hearts. Okay, that was actually a question that one of our new people asked, one of our new members to the Weight Watchers group. That was actually one of the questions that they asked was, do you all eat real food? You know, they wanted to know if we ate only artificially flavored, fake, frozen, you know, whatever foods. And so I asked some of the girls in the group, I said, hey, you know, let them know what you eat. I did not see a single thing on there that was not real food. It was things like bacon. And, oh, sorry, so that means that's a myth. Sorry, I forgot to answer. It's a myth.
Fiction.
So, I mean, yeah, fiction. Sorry. It's a good thing I have Casey here to tell me what I'm doing. Anyway, that is fiction, total fiction. So, okay, and Betty says, I can never get the video downloaded. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means, Betty, but we'll try to help you here in a little bit. But anyway, so that's total fiction. You can eat all the foods that you like. You just have to figure out the points, eat them in moderation, figure out if there's some of them that you can do some things with to, if you can do some things with to, you know, make them a better point option. Like if you're not in our group, you need to join our group. I'm going to not pick on, but I'm going to brag on, I guess. I'm going to brag on Sally for just a minute. She has been really good here lately about taking things that she likes and either figuring it out on her own or getting some input from some of the other ladies. And I keep saying ladies, but you know, the apple turnover things that Sally's been making, oh my gosh, those things have like gone like wildfire, you know, through our group. And Sally, Sally, tell us, okay, and I'm looking, it's funny, I'm looking down here at Casey's phone, like Sally's on Casey's phone. But anyway, Sally, tell us, are they 2 points? Yeah, Teresa says the boiled egg wrapped in bacon. Yeah, that's real food. Pizza. I mean, we make pizza with either the flat out wraps, or we make them with I know some of the girls have been using the Olay Wellness wrap, the Extreme Wellness, the high fiber wraps. And yeah, Sally says that's one smart point for the whole apple pie. It's like a fried apple pie. I would show you on mine, but it was ugly. Sally's turned out a whole lot prettier than mine. But anyway, so that's total fiction that you can't have, you know, the foods that you love. Yeah, and Kim just caught my attention because she said Wegos. Yep, Wegos. They're a new food. They're a new food that you need to love. Okay, the next one is, oh, and we're thinking about making a Wego club. Wouldn't that be hilarious to have a Wego club with t-shirts? People would not have any idea what we were talking about. But anyway, okay, so if you are on here live or if you are watching this later on Facebook, there are some awesome ideas popping up on here. Like a black bean, Leah says a black bean chicken layered casserole. Oh, she's eating a black bean chicken layered casserole while she's watching. So you know now you have to put that up. You've got to put that up, the recipe up for that. So, and another Kim just bought a new waffle iron so that she can make the Wegos. That's awesome. So, if you're, yeah, pepperoni pizza Wegos. Debbie, you are on it. Get on it. I want to see a picture of that tomorrow. And Kim, the other Kim wants, or Kim, yeah, from Canada, Kim wants a Wego of the Week club. We could do that. We could totally do that. Anyway, okay, so now we're talking about Wego t-shirts. I'm going to get back to myths, fact or fiction. The next one is all fats are bad. So what do y'all think? Are all fats bad? Like, should you eat only fat-free things? Or all fats bad? If you think all fats are bad, thumbs up that it's the truth. Or fact, sorry. And a heart if you think that's fiction. So that is... Oh, sorry, Leah caught my attention again because she used the Dax taco seasoning on her, taco night seasoning on the thing, the casserole that she was eating. Yummy. That's what we had that tonight too.
Oh yeah.
Casey and I also had the Dax taco night seasoning on it. Okay, so I'm seeing lots of hearts. Y'all are smart, smart, smart girls. Yeah. Yeah, all fats are not bad. Avocados, very good for you. And let's see. Yeah, Leah says ring on the avocado. So exactly. Did somebody hit an angry face because Sally's on the move? So somebody must have just hit an angry face. Anyway, I wouldn't do it. She'll be after you. Yeah, and just don't let her know where you live, because she'll really be after you. But anyway, so yeah, all fats are not bad. Avocados are great for you. Nuts, nuts are really good for you. But remember, if they're higher in fat, it doesn't mean that the fat is bad for you. Olive oil is really good for you. A lot of, like avocado oils, things like that, they're really good for you. But you just have to count the points. So sadly, even good fats count high, can count high in points, but they are very good for you. Sonia, that's in my Weight Watchers group, she said, okay, I don't know what Sally's talking about. She said, if we sit on you, you might, okay. Okay, I'm not going to get in the middle of that discussion. But anyway, Sonia, that's in my Weight Watchers group that we attend here in Knoxville, she eats, I believe it's a half of an avocado every day, and she said it's actually improved her skin. So yeah, not all fats are bad for you. And I don't know if y'all are noticing a trend or not. Maybe a few of you are, but okay. You should skip meals. So another myth is that you should skip meals. So that makes sense, right? If you skip meals, then you're going to eat less points. So if you think that myth of skipping meals, if you think it's a fact, do a thumbs up. If you think it's fiction, do hearts. And Leah's saying weigh your avocados for the best SP value. So that sounds like a good idea, to weigh them. I just want to know what y'all are doing with the other half of that avocado, because mine doesn't seem to matter what I do to it. It's icky. So I usually just wait and bum a half of an avocado off of somebody at work. Okay, skipping meals. Skipping meals is a good idea. Nope, it's fiction. So skipping meals can actually make you more hungry. So if you skip meals, make you more hungry. Of course, it makes you more hungry. But if you skip meals, it doesn't save you any points. It's not helping you to reduce your points. At the most, what it's doing is making you more hungry. I know if well, and Debbie's exactly right. Your blood sugar drops, and then you might eat more bad food to get it back in line again. That could happen. I know if I skip too many meals, like I used to be a breakfast skipper, and if I skip too many meals, then I do what Gwen calls refrigerator roulette, where I get home and I start shopping, what am I going to eat? 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 Or I start looking in the drawer at work. We have a filing cabinet drawer that has all the bad stuff in it, and I try to stay out of that one. But if I skip meals, then and Casey can tell you this, if I don't get to eat lunch at work, what do I end up grabbing?
Peanut butter crackers.
Peanut butter crackers, yeah. And not that peanut butter crackers are bad for you, but a pack of peanut butter crackers doesn't fill anybody up, and then I feel like, I want to eat more. I am a firm believer, and I can find, data to back it up, that eating smaller, more frequent meals in a day is actually better, not necessarily better for you or better for your weight loss, but like it's not going to make you flush fat or flush weight or lose weight in certain areas of your body or, whatever faster. But I think it will keep you satisfied longer. I think it's going to help you to keep your points spread out a little bit more throughout the day, because you're going to feel satisfied. And I think too that it's going to help you to make better decisions. So if you're hungry, how many of y'all seen that commercial where you get hangry? How many of you all get hangry when you're hungry?
Always.
Casey says always. Well, and especially now that she's pregnant, because she has a little, what would that be? What would the baby be? Not a leech, but a...
No,
yeah, kind of a leech. Anyway, so now that she has a second person, consuming part of her food, she's getting hungry, faster. She's not, satisfied as, easily. So if you spread them out a little bit more, it's going to keep you, and especially if you can include protein. And I can see several of you all are mentioning the protein. I try to have protein at every single meal. And then, and we can talk later, not tonight, but we can talk later about bulking it up. So I try to have protein at every single meal because the protein is going to keep you, it doesn't have to be a lot of protein, it doesn't have to be a lot of points, but it can keep you full, longer. It's going to give you energy to get up and, go do some things. So I'm a firm believer in eating more meals, throughout the day. And that doesn't mean you have to eat 10 meals, but I'm going to say, 4 to 5 meals. And a meal doesn't have to be a big meal. It doesn't have to be something huge. It can just be a snack. It can be a piece of string cheese and an apple, or something small, a hard-boiled egg. It could be a hard-boiled egg and a banana. Okay, so the next one, the next myth: bread is off the list. You can never have bread again. You can never have pasta. You can never have rice. Bread is a no-no. So if you're going to lose weight, no more bread. Is that fact, or is that fiction? And I'm going to take another sip of tea. Are you thirsty?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Okay. And I'm waiting for Oprah's little heart to go by, because Oprah says that's absolutely not true because she eats bread every day.
Well, if
Okay.
bread was a no-no, I would just give up.
And Casey said if bread was a no-no, she would just give up. So, bread, carbohydrates, rice, those are absolutely not a no-no. You can have bread. You can have bread, just like Oprah says, you can have bread every day. What are some of your favorite low smart point breads, or pastas, or any kind of carbohydrates, rice, or anything like that? Casey and I like those VT, and Cynthia's late. Cynthia, you're late. Okay, Casey and I like those VT, and I should have brought one up here, but the VT rice things, they're microwavable, and yes, half of one is still 4 to 5 points, depending on the, I know, and it's so good. Those are really good. A lot of the pasta, the Joseph, I see a couple of Joseph's pitas going by. Those are 1 smart point. A lot of the flat out items are either the fold-its or the flat out the wraps, or they've got several different things. Those are anywhere from those are like 2 to 3 points. The Joseph's lavash, if you cut it in half, a whole lavash, which is like that big, a whole lavash is 2 smart points. Half of a lavash is 1. The Joseph's just the pita is 1. So I see Jackie says Sarah Lee 45 calorie bread. Sybil says the Aldi Fit and Active bread is 1 smart point. Betty, that's exactly what my husband and I eat. Betty reminded me of the Nature's Own whole wheat bread is 1 smart point. So there's a whole bunch of them coming up. So bread, you definitely can have bread. So just like Oprah says, and the Olay Extreme Wellness is only 1. So just like Oprah says, you can have bread every day. And don't forget, you can have bread too. I mean, like the Trader Joe's ciabatta rolls that we talked about last week in the Spice Chat, the one that weighs 57 grams is 3 smart points. And hey, who doesn't want a good piece of ciabatta bread? The kind that they have at my Trader Joe's now, though, they started making the 75 gram one, and those are 5 smart points. But still, I mean, that's a lot of bread for 5 smart points. Okay, so y'all keep putting up your bread ideas, because I'm seeing a lot of good ones go by. Oh, and one of the Karens says that Smart Baking has hamburger buns that are 1 smart point. And I think Popcorn Karen has been buying those too. So that one's a good one to check into. Okay, so the next one. The next one is that you can out exercise a bad decision. So that's a myth. Is it true or false? So if you had, say, ice cream today, then you can, and we say this all the time, I'm going to eat that, I'm going to have to walk home. So walking home for me, probably not going to happen, because it's like 10 or 11 miles. Technically, I could do it. But you all know somebody that, and there's already a lot of hearts going by. You all know, somebody that said, that'll say, well, I'm gonna, I'm going to run, or I'm going to, or we're playing tennis today, or we're doing something really, really active, so I can eat more because I'm going to be more active. So you can out-exercise a bad food decision. Well, maybe not a bad food decision, but you can out-exercise your intake, your food. So if that's a fact, then I want to see some thumbs ups. And if that is fiction, then I need to see some hearts. And so we already had some people that were doing hearts. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say that is fiction. You cannot, okay, I will say this: you cannot, unless you get to the point of it being extreme. You cannot out-exercise your food. I've tried. And tried. Yeah, and C just said it's about how bad your food choice was. If it was only 3 smart points, okay, 3 smart points is not a bad food choice. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say, if you have found something you love, like maybe some Halo Top ice cream, or now some of the girls are eating Enlightened ice cream. So if you've been making some things, choosing some things like that, or like smart skinny popcorn, I don't think those are bad, food choices. I'm talking about things that are, like if I decide that I'm going to have, a piece of cheesecake, for 30 smart points. Okay, do you want to know how long it would take me to exercise off 30 points? Let's see, let's make it a number that's easier to do the math. Let's say 27 smart points. No, that's not even, I can't even do that one. 30, I can do that one. Okay, so 30. Okay, I weigh 145 pounds, which means that it takes me 60 minutes, 60 minutes to earn 6 smart points at the rate that I walk. I don't run, I don't jog, I'm not doing a whole lot of strenuous, exercise, but at the rate that I can walk, it takes me 60 minutes to earn 6 smart points. So if I eat something that is, let's see, if I indulged in something that was 30 smart points, how long, somebody do some quick math for me there, how long would that take me to burn that off? So if I earned 6 every 60 minutes, that would be 5 hours. Yeah, that would be 5 hours. Even if it was only 18, no, 6. Yeah, 6, that would be 3 hours if it was 18. Did I just do the math on that right? Mm-hmm. Is that right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, 5 hours. But anyway, so I'm not talking about people who have gone to the extreme and who are just exercising, until they're going to drop. I guess at some point, maybe, but that's not healthy either. So I don't eat my fit points. I don't use my fit points. I use my fit points to be fit. I'm not saying that you can't eat your fit points. I just want to let y'all know you're not out exercising anything that you eat. Okay, so that one's fiction. Okay, this one, you should wait until you feel hungry before you eat. So fact or fiction, should you wait until you feel hungry before you eat? Like really hungry. Not just your brain thinks you're hungry, like your tummy. Uh-oh. Sally just called out somebody for an angry face. Dun, dun, dun. Who was it? Sally's coming to get you. She's coming to get you. Okay, fact. If you think it's a fact that you should wait until you're hungry, do a thumbs up. Or if you think that's fiction, you should do hearts. So fact or fiction, you should wait until you feel hungry. And by hungry, I mean stomach's growling, you're hungry. Okay. I'm sorry. Apparently, Paula, no, not Paula. Who? I'm getting confused. Sally's scolding somebody, and I must have said the wrong name. So Paula, sorry. I don't guess it was you. Sorry. False alarm. I don't know who she's fussing at. Anyway, so fact or fiction? It is fiction. While many of us are eating before our tummies could ever could ever even think about being hungry, it's best if you don't wait. Now, I'm not saying stuff yourself all the time. I'm not saying to stay stuffed all the time, but it's best if, remember those smaller meals that we talked about just a few minutes ago? It's best if you can eat more frequently and smaller meals, because it's going to help you, again, it's going to help you stay full. If you wait until, there's a whole sub discussion going on about the angry face, but anyway, if you wait until you actually feel hungry, again, we just talked about that a minute ago. You're going to get hangry. You could get hangry. You could just start eating everything in sight. You could start playing refrigerator roulette. But there is an actual chemical that your body makes called ghrelin, and you'll have to look that up. And I'll look it up and I'll have it on the transcripts. But it's ghrelin. It's I think it's GREHLIN. And ghrelin is actually something that your body makes when you don't eat soon enough, and it's a defense mechanism. Blood sugar drops, ghrelin is made, things happen, and there are physiological things that happen to your body that you can't control, and you may think, I've got this under control, but you need to eat. So yeah, and Debbie says it's like putting a log on the fire. Exactly, it's exactly like putting a log on the fire. And apparently now Paula has to go stand in the corner. Paula, I don't know if it was you or not. Yeah. And then Cynthia says if she waits until she's really hungry, she makes really bad choices. That's exactly right, Cynthia. That's exactly right. So if you're satisfied, again, not stuffed, I'm not saying stay stuffed all day, but if if your last meal was only a couple of hours ago and it's time to eat again, how much more likely are you to go to the refrigerator at work, pull out your lunch bag, and eat what you brought for lunch, what you had pre-planned for points for lunch, than it would be to shop in that silly drawer in your office? Yeah, because that's what I end up doing. Or to run to McDonald's. Yeah, or to run to McDonald's. Casey says to run to McDonald's for fries, like she does. So yeah. So yes, it's always better to keep a little, don't wait too long, before you eat. Okay, here's one. This is a weight loss myth that I hear a lot. Healthy eating is expensive. So healthy eating is expensive or too expensive. Thumbs up that's a fact, or hearts, that is fiction. So that one is, this myth is healthy eating is expensive or it's too expensive. So thumbs ups for fact and hearts for fiction. Okay, on that one, I'm going to say it could go either way. So it could be fact and it could be fiction. So fact is if you only buy all the, let's see, need to help with YouTube, Kelly, so we can... Sally says, need to help with YouTube, Kelly, so we can send hearts while you speak. I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean, Sally, so you can explain. But anyway, so I'm going to say that that one can go both ways. So there are lots of ways to spend a whole lot of money eating healthy, and there are lots of ways to spend not so much money while you're eating healthy. So I've got a friend who she's a very cost conscious Weight Watcher, and she has been, let's see, this Laura has been lifetime, well, the whole time I've known her, so probably, I don't know, 15 or 16 years, I guess, but she does spend a lot of time. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm going to sidetrack a second. So they're talking about, okay, Sally says we don't send hearts or likes while we wait to answer. Oh, I see what she's saying. Okay, that's okay. Yeah, so I'll take thumbs ups or hearts anytime. I'll take those anytime. And then Debbie asked or said something about doing a live YouTube chat. We could do that too. If I don't confuse everybody to death, now that y'all finally have found us here, I don't want to confuse you by taking you over to YouTube. But anyway, so she spends a lot of time planning. And she plans it out so that she can get, the chicken that's just about to, to go off the, the shelf, or, things that are, she buys things in bulk. And she does do a lot of planning, and she does a lot of prepping, and she gets it all planned, prepped, whatever. But my gosh, this girl can take $50 and buy an entire buggy, full of food. You can get a lot of Weight Watcher things at Family Dollar and Dollar General, and Dollar Tree. Now you can get a lot of Weight Watcher things, at Costco and Sam's, and you can buy in bulk and save some money that way. You can buy, things that are getting ready to go off of the fresh list. You can go to Aldi. Aldi has really good prices. Trader Joe's prices are pretty good. So it doesn't have to be expensive. And I think, when we get, stuck on some of the, bigger name brand things, that's when it starts to get, more expensive. Okay. So let's go to the next one. Yeah, buggy. It's a buggy. No, cart on this side of the state. Okay, Sally says, is it a buggy or a cart? We have buggies here. Okay, so the next one, because we are dangerously close to 10 till almost 9. Oh my gosh, and I have like 10 more things. Okay, so let me skip to another one. Okay, here's another one, and this is one that Casey actually said. So this one is, the myth is that salads are healthy. So if you think salads are healthy, if you think that is a fact, are healthy and they're a great, choice for weight loss, then do a thumbs up for fact and do a heart for fiction. So the question was, salads are healthy, and they're a good choice, for weight loss. So fact or fiction? Fact is thumbs up. Fiction is a heart. Ooh. Okay, and this is the very first time that we're getting a lot of thumbs ups, getting a few hearts.
Mixed.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of a mixed vote there. Oh no, we're getting a lot more thumbs ups. Okay, so let me say this. It's both. It's fact and it's fiction. Okay, depends on what you choose. So I get this question, yeah, and now I'm starting to see all the answers of depends on what you put on it, depends on what you put on it, depends on what you put on it. Okay. I cannot tell you how many times I have seen people, on a weight loss program, or had people come up to me and say, oh my gosh, you must just eat salad all day. No, I eat salad now because I like salad. So I only get salad when I've planned for it, because believe it or not, salads out usually have more smart points than something else that I would have chosen, and I'll give you an example here in just a minute. But when I make salads, I make a salad that I like. Like today, I used arugula and cucumbers, strawberries, fat-free feta cheese. I think, do you have anything else on it? And then the dressing that I used is 2 smart points for 1 tablespoon, but it's my favorite dressing. So for that whole salad, and I had a cup of Trader Joe's feta, the feta tomato feta soup with it. And that whole thing, by the time I got done, was 9 smart points. But I had made specific, plans for the, for the salad. So I was really careful with the salad. So, and I'm going to turn around here and read this from my other computer. So, salads can pack quite the smart point punch. We found that this was my favorite salad at Applebee's. The Applebee's Oriental grilled chicken salad with the dressing. Does anybody want to guess how many smart points that is?
It made me cry.
Yeah, Casey said it made her cry. I used to get this thing all the time because I thought I was making a great choice on a salad. I am not saying salads are a bad choice. I'm not saying they're a bad choice. You just have to know before you go. Y'all know what I say all the time. Know before you go. Knowledge is power. You've got to check it out before you go. And Sybil says she's making a Big Mac salad tomorrow night for dinner. We'll want to see that. Okay, look, I'm seeing a 16, a 15. Okay, then a 2 mini. Okay, the Applebee's Oriental grilled chicken salad with dressing. That's the regular size is 44 smart points. I don't know about y'all, but that's more than I get for a whole day. 44 smart points. Also at Applebee's, you could have gotten, I'm not saying the salad's bad, I'm just saying know what's on the salad before you get it. A 6-ounce sirloin an order of garlic mashed potatoes that has butter in it and steamed broccoli is 18 smart points. I only make my salads at home now, so I don't get salads out. They are not a good, for me, they are not a good choice out. I think salads are an excellent choice for, yeah, I'm seeing a lot of people going, what? That's all my weeklies. That's more than all my weeklies. Okay, so the reason I put that one in there, well, Casey asked about it, but the reason, or mentioned it, but the reason I put that one in there is because I see too many people that are frustrated with their weight loss efforts. They're frustrated that the scale's not moving, you know, but they're living on salads. Well, if you ate a salad every day, not that 44 was an extreme, but if you get a salad at like McDonald's or Arby's or Wendy's or anywhere like that, they're going to be somewhere between, you know, 15 and about 25 smart points for the salad. That's a lot of points for not a whole lot of food. You know, I would much rather see you eat. Huh?
You'll be hungry later.
Yeah, you are. You're going to be hungry later. So I would much rather see you spend the points on something else and then just make yourself a nice big salad, you know, when you get home with some things that you actually like in it. So there's no sense in eating dead ingredients, you know, because let's face it, the salads that are out, most of the time they're not super, super fresh. But anyways, okay, so that was one of them. Okay. Then another one, myth. Is this fact or fiction? Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. So who thinks breakfast is the most important meal of the day? Fact? Uh-oh. Oh, one of our computers is running low on battery. So is that fact or is that fiction? That breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Oh, somebody did a sad face. Do what?
While you wait, he's already won.
Oh, okay. And apparently Dusty has already jumped up to snoodle with Casey. Okay, so... and Betty's got to go because she keeps losing us. Sorry, Betty. Betty, you need to get a better internet connection. Okay. So, I personally think that that's fact. I think I have looked and looked and looked and looked and looked and looked and looked, and I cannot find a scientific study. So if you all find one, let me know, that says that breakfast absolutely is the most important meal of the day. I think it is. I think it is for a lot of reasons. One is, and I know there's a whole lot of stuff out there about you have to start your metabolism before a certain time in the morning and blah, 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 whatever. I think that breakfast is the most important meal of the day, because, yeah, and Carolyn's right, or Caroline, all meals are important. They are all important. All of them are important. I do, though, personally think that it's good to get up, get going, go ahead and get some fuel in your system. Even though there's not going to be, it's not like people say where, you know, oh, if you get up and start eating before a certain time of day, then you're guaranteed to lose weight. Still the same number of calories. You have to have a calorie deficit to lose weight. It takes 3,500 calories, you know, to make a pound. So you have to have a 3,500 calorie deficit to, you know, to lose weight. But I do believe in getting up early and starting your day. I will say this too. That I believe, and again, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a scientist, I don't work for Weight Watchers, I'm not speaking on their behalf, but I believe that the more protein that you can get in the morning, the more satisfied that you're going to be. I do personally think that it affects your blood sugar level. I don't know how many of you ladies are on here have blood sugar issues, but I think it affects your blood sugar levels, and it lasts a little bit longer. So I'm a big proponent of, you know, of protein. Now this morning I had my Trader Joe's multigrain O's, the maple pecan granola, a banana, and a couple of strawberries, you know, in there, and that had a little bit of protein. But I'm not gonna lie, before it was time for my first snack, I was already getting a little hungry again. So I'm a firm believer, get up, get something. It does not have to be traditional breakfast. It could be a piece of, like a piece of string cheese rolled up in some ham. It can be, you know, any kind of an egg. It could be a Weggo. Would a Weggo not be the very best breakfast that you could ever eat? Anyway, just kidding. Okay, so let's try to get in one or two more. Okay, and Tedder says she feels better once she eats something. Yeah, I think so. And honestly, I think, and again, I'm not a doctor and I don't even play one on TV, but I think that a lot of tummy troubles can be alleviated from that. I used to never, ever, ever eat breakfast, like never. And when I didn't eat breakfast, when we were on Points Plus, I hardly ever ate breakfast. And I could make it until like 11, 12, 1 o'clock before I would eat anything. And I thought, yeah, I'm doing great. Because remember the old skip meals myth? So I would think, great, I'm skipping some meals, I can make it till noon or 1 o'clock, no problem. And then I've got lots of points left for the rest of the day. Well, then guess what I wanted to do when I got home? I just wanted to plow through everything that was in the pantry, everything that was in the refrigerator, everything that wasn't nailed down because I hadn't had anything to eat all day. So now I start my day every single day. If I don't have time to eat something, I love to make Wegos. I love to make egg mugs. My secret recipe scrambled eggs, those are all great starts, to the day. But if I don't have time to make something, I do keep pre-made hard-boiled eggs. I've always got cereal on hand. I always have bananas and, peanut butter on hand. Peanut butter and banana, that's an amazing breakfast. Okay, so it is 9 o'clock. Let's do one more. Let me look at one more. Let's see. Okay, here's one. That if you don't lose at least a pound a week, you'll never get to your goal. Okay. So who thinks that, gosh, and I've got a few more, but, do you want me to do the changing what you drink? Yes. Okay, I'm going to back up. I want to do one that Casey said earlier, so don't vote on the one I just said. Stop, and let's do this one. Casey said, fact or fiction, changing what you drink can help you lose weight faster. So do you think changing what you drink, do you think that can make you lose weight faster? Thumbs up if that's fact. Hearts if it's fiction. So, changing what you drink. Okay, I'm waiting for y'all to catch up to me. Okay, we're starting to get some votes. So, thumbs ups for fact, hearts for fiction. Getting a lot of thumbs ups. Oh, hold on. Dusty's already coming over. So, we're getting a lot of thumbs ups. Yes. Changing what you drink definitely can affect how it can help you to lose weight faster. So I know a lot of us drink high caloric or had been drinking high caloric drinks like juice and or things in our coffee. Or I know there's several people right now in our group that are really struggling with what they're going to put in their coffee, because they're using up a ton of points. We have a lady in our group. She was in our Weight Watchers group that she was getting she wasn't losing any weight at all. I mean, like, she just kept turning the same weight over and over and over and over and over again, and could not figure out why. And come to find out, all these little these little splashes of stuff that she was getting in her coffee every day. She was going to Dunkin' Donuts like 5 and 6 times a day, and she was getting a little splash of this and a little splash of that. Well, I forget how many points they figured it out to, but she was spending like, I don't know, it was like 8 or 10 or 12 points a day, just in these little splashes of things in her coffee, and that was all of her extra points. It was all of her flex points for the day. She was spending them all on that. And then Casey and I figured out, if you just swapped out one sweet tea. Okay, so we're from Tennessee. And most people around here love their sweet tea. Okay, well, I quit drinking sweet tea a long time ago, and I'm okay with that. People frown at me, and Casey says she's not okay with that, but people frown at me. But people from around here drink sweet tea. Well, we figured out if you swapped out one sweet tea, okay, and McDonald's around here, sweet tea is 99 cents because we love our sweet tea that much. But if you swapped out one McDonald's sweet tea for like a diet lemonade or some water or whatever every day, so if you were drinking one a day, that's 9 smart points a day. We're going to have to do some math here again. So if you were spending 9 smart points a day on a beverage, okay, apparently somebody's hitting the frowny face, and it's, I don't know, to be silly. I don't know who's on here that's doing that, but oh well, Jesus still loves you. Just gonna say that. Don't know why you would be pushing the frowny face, but anyway, sweet tea and Jesus, that's what we love in East Tennessee. Anyway, and that is true. Okay, so anyway, I forgive you already. But if you swapped out just the tea, so if you swapped out one sweet tea, yeah, Cheryl's already done the math. She's smart. She's a smart cookie. Let's not talk about cookies. Anyway, she's a smart girl. 63 smart points a week. 63. So how much weight could you lose knocking out 63 smart points? Okay, it's 9:04. Let's do one more. So let's go back to the one that I started to say just a second ago. Okay. Where did it go? If you lose less than a pound a week, so if you're not losing more than a pound a week, you'll never reach your goal. Is that fact or fiction? So, God, that's 270 points a month. Paula just figured it up. That's 270 points a month. Oh, that's a lot of points. Okay, so fact or fiction? This is a myth. Fact or fiction? If you don't, if you're losing less than a pound a week, you'll never reach your goal. So is that fact, or is that, I only have one hand because Dusty's sitting on the other hand, or is that fiction? Okay, this is our last one, so vote now.
There's already a lot of hearts.
There's already a lot of hearts, so thank you for all the hearts, first of all. Okay, that is absolutely fiction. If I had been happy with all of the times that I had a 0.2 weight loss, not only is it a fact that I would have reached goal, I would have reached goal in 1998. 1998. This is 2017. Okay. Yeah, Casey would have only been 5 years old. So if I had been happy with all of my 0.2s or, so I started in 1993 when Casey was born. And dropped, lost some, gained some, lost some, gained some. If I had accepted all of my 0.2 weeks or the weeks that I didn't lose anything or the weeks that I gained a little bit, if I would have accepted those back then, I literally would have been at goal in 1998. But because I wasn't, because I, would get a little snit about it and then say, forget it. I'm never going to lose weight. I'm never going to lose all this weight. I'm just might as well just, hang it up and just gain it all back. And why is that the answer? Why was that always the answer? So I joined Weight Watchers 6 times before I saw it to fruition, made goal, and have been at goal. So I got to goal finally in 2014 once I finally had, and here's Jesus again, had a come to Jesus meeting with myself about, what we were doing here. And I've been, let's see, gosh, I will have been at goal. I'll be a lifetime member in December for 3 years. It'll be 3 years in December. But if I had,
baby, right?
I would have what?
You'll have your goal and your grandbaby, right?
Yep. So I'll have, so I will have been at lifetime for 3 years, about the same time that the grandbaby's born. But anyway, so if I had accepted that, I would have been lifetime, a long time before now. And I don't know why the first 5 times, I don't know why I thought, I gained 20 pounds and I never got to the 21st pound or 25th pound or whatever. Why was the answer, forget it, I'll just gain it all back? That makes no sense. You hear the old, you hear people say all the time, if you had, if your car got a flat tire, you don't get out and slash the other 3 tires. Think about it though. That's really, kind of true. So if I had been happy, if I could have been happy with all of the times that I had a 0.2, or a 0.5 or a none, or a little bit of a gain, it would have been 1998. So it took me till 2014 to get that through my head. If you all have any other weight loss myths that you would like to have debunked or get the answers to, I do hope that you will go ahead and include them. And I promise, and even after the chat's over, I do see all of these and I try really, really hard to answer all of your questions. And so let me think, what are we going to do next week? I don't know, I'll have to think about that one. This was the first time in a long time that I've actually planned like 5, I think it was 5 days in advance, what we were going to do. But if y'all have any, other questions, any other weight loss myths that you'd like the answers to, please, pretty please do send me a message on here. You can send a message on Facebook. You can message me on YouTube. You can message me on the blog. That's www.IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. And I had a feeling that NSVs was going to come up, and it's already come up. But here is Sir Snoodles a lot. He was already trying to take a nap. So he's feeling better. And here's Miss Casey.
Oh.
So lean in and say goodnight. So everybody
Good
say goodnight,
night.
Casey. So I'm getting ready to take Casey home so that she can go home and get a good night's sleep before we have our the big full eclipse tomorrow, and we'll be in totality. But anyway, so everybody have a great week. Maybe we'll talk about NSVs next week because I've already seen that come up like 3 or 4 times. And thank you all. Yes, Casey is cute, and it's funny because everybody talks about Dusty more than they're talking about the humans. But anyway, we will see you all next week. Don't forget, if you watch this on YouTube, to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Pretty please subscribe. And yeah, the transcripts will be up later, and we'll see you all next week. Good night. Good night, everybody. Thank you for coming.